Hello people. We are here today to talk about Waterstones, the bookstore. So there's some really sick content, books as such, that's aimed at children from 3 years and onwards. Very over-sexualisation of the children, and they're pushing these books into the schooling system. Now, they're very pornographic, and they're more aimed at the adult generation, if you know what I mean. We're here as peaceful and polite people. We've done this for 3 years now. We've outreached and marched in this town now, and we've never been a nuisance to the people in this town, or the market traders, because we respect them also, and everyone else in this town. We have nothing against anyone from being different. It's not about that. It's about the over-sexualisation, the push on our children in the schooling systems. Now, this is not just the books that are being implemented in the school. It's about the drag queen story time that's going into the schools, and it's appearing all over the country of late. And it's quite crude and sickening that a grown man wearing a dress is actually speaking to a child. In any case, that's the wrong thing, to be honest, and it shouldn't happen, in the schooling system especially. It's the over-sexualisation. It's not just that, it's teaching kids that they can change their sex. Now, it's a biological fact you're either a male or a female, but they're teaching kids that they can change their sex. And it's about gender reassignment also. This is body mutilation. It's quite sickening that this is being pushed upon young children and teenagers in the schooling system, and these books are also teaching the kids the wrong way, really. And they've got these books now in Waterstones published, and one of them is what my good friend Jeff told me is perfectly normal, and some of the content and images in this book is truly sickening. Now, any parent that gets a chance to read this book, you want to have a look at it for yourself, because it's frightening what they're actually pushing on the children. Now, some of the subject in this, like I said, is pornographic, and they're highlighted in cartoon form, so it's accessible for children to look at, and it's frightening. Now, these people, the WHO, the World Health Organisation, and the World Economic Forum, which is a criminal organisation, are dictating to the schooling system that they're going to implement the talk of masturbation for 3-year-olds and up. Now, I'm a father of 2 and I won't accept it, and I won't allow it either. Now, if this happens, there's many of us here that will stand our strength against the schooling system, and we will fight it. We will fight it because we're concerned, worried parents that our children are being groomed in the schooling system. It's wrong, it's sickening, and we have a moral obligation as parents to protect the innocence of our children, the innocence of our children. If we don't do it, who's going to do it? If we leave behind a world that's full of paedophiles, nonces and scum residing, like these guys on that board over there in the political side, like the likes of Bill Gates, Boris Johnson, Matt Hancock, all of these are connected to the WHO and the World Economic Forum, and they're pushing this on the kids, and they know that's our weakness as parents. They know that'll rattle our cages at the end of the day, and I for one can't accept the future that's being planned out for our children. Now, I'd like to see many more people standing with us, because this is really frightening as a parent, and I will make sure that that's never ever pushed upon the schools where my kids are being taught, because they're there for an education purpose. This is not an educational purpose. Transgenderism, you're entitled to be who you want as an adult. You can choose who to be you want. Now, the LGBTQ community are also fed up of this being pushed on children. Also, there's a good majority of people from that community have had enough of the sexualisation of children, and we stand with them also. So it's not about segregation or division between what sex you are and who you want to be as an adult. It's about pushing it on the schooling system and the children. And that's why we're here. And as I said, we're not causing offence to anyone. We're polite, kind, compassionate people. Now, we've been told to usher on, but we're not going to move, because this is more important than anything right now. We've got only 7 years till Agenda 2030, and it's truly frightening what they're trying to push on humanity. It goes much deeper than just sexualisation of children in the schooling system. It's about child trafficking also. If you don't know about it, you need to go away and look at it, because that's truly frightening. And there's some really good friends of mine that have stood in London outside Buckingham Palace. Frances Shea is one of them, a very strong woman that stood in the streets of London with some other great people, Abby Conliffe, Denise Gale, Nick Hopkins. They've stood against the trafficking of our children. And Jeanette Archer, if you don't know who she is, you need to go away and search her. She was pushed into trafficking as a young child, so she's been there and seen it. And she's trying to alert the country that this is happening to young children all over the world as well, being trafficked, sold to the highest bidder. And the political side, the parasites and the demonic entities that reside in the House of Parliament, they're all connected to this, the World Economic Forum. It's a criminal organisation, it isn't a political party, it's not a government. It's taken over a long time ago. And the WHO, if you've not heard about the pandemic treaty, that's the next step that you need to start researching about, because that'll affect everyone's lives, especially our children. And they're the ones that are in the paper this week trying to push the sexualisation of our children and masturbation be taught to 3-year-olds in the school system. You need to know who Tedros is. He's a war criminal, and he's dictating to what your children should be taught in the schools. It's disgusting, it's immoral, and we've got, like I said, a moral obligation to stand for our children, stand for their innocence. And I think that's what it's all about, thank you. And that's what it's all about. It should concern every grandparent and every parent, and especially the men. I think we now need to see more men concerned about it, because we need men who are protectors of the children to stand against it. And that's what we've been doing now. These guys here that I'm stood with now, some of these are really strong-minded people that have done work in their communities, against the councils, yellow boards, researching every matter and giving you the facts that's going on. If it weren't for these people, you wouldn't know what's going on, because the BBC won't tell you. They're liars, complete utter liars, and so is the government. So these people you really need to start listening to. They're kind, compassionate people. Well, every single one of them that I stand with today, they're the people that are trying to change the world for the better and for our children. And if it doesn't stop now, then it's going to be a frightening future ahead for our children. It really will be, if men don't start standing up against it and fighting the system. So I'm going to leave it like that. But Waterstones, as I say, they're publishing these books. If you don't know about it, go in there and check them out. It's perfectly normal. It's really sickening. It's crude. It's vulgar. And I won't allow it to be taught to my children in the school system. So thank you.